is something pretty remarkable.
This is my movie.
These are our stories.
I am RealWorks.
Are you recording right now?
It ruined my life because I lost my mother.
We were really at the age where it was going to affect us the most.
Listen to my story.
This is my story. Get inspired by us teens.
This is where I can tell my story. Where teens from New York are given a voice. This is RealWorks.
Welcome to RealWorks. I'm Byron Hurt. This week, 3 stories of struggle and uncommon love. In our first story, filmmaker Jonathan Whitehead talks with his family about love in the face of tragic loss.
I grew up with 2 older brothers in a close family household. My father had a family he never had when growing up, and my mom smiled as her 3 boys progressed through life. We were happy, together.
We're both pretty bored, like with what was going on with our lives currently, and we both felt kind of stuck. And we both agreed that we needed to have some sort of adventure. As a mutual consensus, we needed to have some sort of adventure.
So Jeffrey was planning to go to Connecticut to see his friend's band, and I knew he was going. He told me he was going. I never thought to ask him how he was getting there.
You know, we originally looked at taking a train, but there was no feasible way that we could take a train after work and make it to the show on time. It was just not possible.
Jeff called me on the phone and said that he was going up to Connecticut with Adam on Adam's motorcycle to go see his buddies from college's band.
We met up with his friends, we had a good time. We both danced to some crappy ska band because, you know, hell, we came all the way up there, I might as well have a good time. You know, the show ended, we all had to empty out, and people started getting into cars and stuff. As he's putting the helmet back on, I'm like, are you sure you don't want to get in one of the cars where it's warm and safe with your friends? And this is the clincher. And this is also the last thing that he said to me, or said to anyone else for that matter. And he said, no. I came up on the motorcycle. I want to stay on the motorcycle. It's all part of the adventure.
On October 23rd, 2004, my brother Jeffrey died in a motorcycle accident. His friend Adam Poots was driving. I was 15 when he died. When Jeff passed, I felt like he was away at college or off on one of his trips in Thailand. I wanted to make this film to get closer with my older brother. What do you think about my film?
I think it has a lot of possibilities. I think it'll be good.
Why do you think I'm doing it?
Well, I think you're doing it to sort of exercise some of your demons. Try to come to grips with it. We're all trying to come to grips with it in our own way.
When I was around Jeff, I treated him like an annoying little brother. Our relationship evolved, but I didn't feel close to him. I felt closest to my older brother, James. I didn't really admire Jeff. It's hard to know that one of the last conversations I had with Jeff was an argument. I decided to take a trip with my dad to see where the accident occurred. I hoped to rid myself of the guilt by seeing where he died.
Well, when I would see you hang out with your brother, it wasn't, you guys didn't always really get along. You just didn't respect as much what he was saying to you because he was your older brother. Yeah. And it was a little bit of like young rebellion.
You know, typical, like 14-year-old kid, I do the same thing. You say something to the kid and it's, I know. Oh, I know that. Oh, I know this. Oh, yeah, I already know that. I already know this. There's nothing the kid didn't know. Not a thing. You couldn't teach him anything in life.
I'd like to think that his death didn't have a major effect on my life. That I would have the strength of character to move on. Live life in a way that he would be proud of. But his death did affect me. It changed me and my family immensely.
Losing Jeffrey, who was such a good older brother,
a good mentor makes it a little harder for you, because I think you and he were getting closer right before he passed. And I think you were really starting to open your eyes and learn from him.
I think that when he died, you were a sophomore in high school, I was a junior in high school. We were really at the age where it was going to affect us the most, because we didn't know, we hadn't lived the world the same way, We had never seen someone our age die. Other people had.
I felt lost, confused about what I was feeling, uncomfortable in my own skin. I thought that if I could just be more like Jeff, I'd have some direction in my life.
I mean, I sort of feel that, like, what I'm doing right now, I wish I could, change some things, and I'm trying to change them. And then I look at, like, Jeff, and he had a lot of what I want in my life.
Okay, and that part of it's fine, but you can't keep saying, I'm not as good as Jeffrey, I'm not as smart as Jeffrey, I'm not as talented. That's not positive. That's not good. When you are as smart as Jeffrey is, you have as much talent, maybe not the same talents, but you have all these other things going for you. You don't have to constantly compare yourself to him.
I didn't want you to turn into Jeff just as a result of missing Jeff and of Jeff not being there. I wanted you to be your own person, and I felt like I didn't know how much of your own person you were going to be compared to how much you were going to be what this travesty, this one event affected you. I didn't want that to turn you into something you're not, or turn you into the kind of person that you might not want to be, or the kind of person that was just someone that was manipulated.
That's a lot, to know who you are, and I think that's what you're really struggling with. Took Jeffrey, he was almost 22 when he passed, but he had given himself a lot of years, those later years, to learn about himself.
I still make stupid choices,
Because you're 18 years old. Jeffrey made a damn stupid choice too by getting on that motorcycle.
I realized that I was putting Jeff on a pedestal. I missed him so much.
It's hard not to think that you missed out on. I understand that you would feel that you missed out on bonding with him on a certain level, but I don't think it's good to think that way, because he had unconditional love for you.
We used to say that James was more the athletic type, and Jeff was more of the academic type growing up, and that you were like a combination between the two. You were like the super Jeff.
I wanted to be Super Jeff when I began this film. If I could add more of his qualities to my personality, I could bridge the gap of his absence in my life. I am 18, but I am not Super Jeff. And by being who I'm supposed to be, not emulating another, I feel closer to him.
It's somewhere here up ahead. I don't know where.
Well, Adam said that he was under the guardrail.
Yeah. But you're not going to see any signs now, 2 years later.
No. Not at all. But this is where it happened.
Yep.
This film has made me get in touch with the loss of my brother. It truly feels like he is gone. I needed to feel closer with him, but I did this by being someone that I am not. I learned that this was just a place in the road where the worst thing that could have happened happened. Now that I have completed this chapter in my life, I realize that wherever I am standing is just another place in the road.
We're going home?
Yes.
Well, we did it.
Yeah.
We did it.
Since making his film 4 years ago, Jonathan Whitehead has pursued an education in filmmaking. We recently spoke to him about how he has worked through his grief and what the lasting effect the film has had on his family and his life.
My name is Jonathan Whitehead. I made The Ride in fall 2006. I just remember feeling I can't wait to show this to everybody, and it was a good feeling. Screening the film made my family connect in a way. There was never an elephant in the room where we didn't want to talk about, Jeff's death, or we were always able to give a shoulder to cry on. So the film did help us, get through it and stuff, but it was more for me. It was more of my growth, and my parents, in turn, felt better because they saw me doing better with school or just in life. There was a point after he died where I became really angry, and I was really angry at him and the world, and it kind of consumed me for a little bit. And right now, my relationship with my brother Jeff is a it's a sad relationship. I can't really. I feel close with him in ways, and I think about him a lot. But I miss him. So yeah, it's like you miss him. So yeah, but my relationship with James is actually really good. He's always been there for me. He's a very strong person in my life. I'm blessed. I have a great family, and we've all dealt with the tragedy in our own ways. But we've always been there for each other, and we've always been able to talk about it.
It's not uncommon for a mother and daughter to share a special bond. In our next film, award-winning filmmaker Kimberly Scott shares her special love with her mom and what she's learned from facing down ignorance and hate.
They said that your mother is ugly, you have an ugly mother, your mother looked like she was punched in the face so many times that she had a bruise. So many negative things that didn't even make any sense to me. Like, I never even noticed something was wrong with my mother until they said something about her.
I was probably 15 years old when I said, you know what, I like the person I see in the mirror. I had to look in the mirror, actually look in the mirror and say I love myself. I've learned that I can do whatever I set my mind to, that I don't have to let the birth defect define who I am. I just have to define myself as the person I am. I was born in 1962. I didn't realize when I was growing up I had a cleft lip and palate, because nobody ever talked about it, even though I had to go to doctors and have operations. I had no roof to my mouth. My lip was totally wide open, and they had to repair it. And I had to go through a lot of speech therapy to learn how to speak correctly and how to say certain words. And it took a lot of work. It really was. My life has not been easy by any means. I was teased a lot. I remember one experience when I was first moved to New York. I was going to a school on Sumter Street, and a group of boys beat me up. So if I cried, please forgive me. Because I was different, and they jumped on me. And luckily my mother and her friends came and rescued me. Can we stop for a minute?
I never saw my mother cry before. I don't like to think about that. It makes me feel angry.
It was hard for you, because when people used to pick at me, like your classmates, you would get very mad and you would want to fight.
When I used to talk about my mother, I used to be angry. I was like, why are you doing this? Like, I don't know you that well. I don't talk to you at all. When we in school, I don't talk to you out of school. You're not my friend, so why are you talking about my mother? The teachers or the principal would always ask me what was going on or how did the fight begin. And then when I actually remember what they were saying, like, made me cry because, like, I'm repeating what they say about my mother, and it was like a sad moment. Every single word I had to say made me even cry even more.
I had to tell you, Kimberly, don't let people, I love myself. Don't let people make you feel like you don't love me.
He said, I don't care what people think about me. You shouldn't care what people think about me. The only thing that matters is that what you think about me.
It doesn't matter what anybody else feel about me, as long as my children love me for who I am.
My mom used to always tell me that, but it took me a while to get it. She thinks that if I keep letting them get me angry, that I'm giving them all the power. I still get really angry thinking about it, but I want my mom to know that I don't care what they say, that I love her.
It's truly a blessing because when you can look at yourself and accept yourself for all your, imperfections and everything, and not see somebody, that doesn't have any rough edges, then you can say, you know what, I can accept anybody else in life too. And no matter what, I can give my children the strength to be better people.
With everything she went through, she's still a strong person who loves herself. That's how she made me a stronger person too. She's a beautiful person.
Our last film is about the possible end of a relationship that our filmmaker thought would last a lifetime. Here's a departure from love.
What up, love? I hope you get this before I'm gone. I just really have to tell you, I love the way you sway down decal with your eclectic taste of perfect dreadlocks, smooth shoe top, and bangles you got from the street festival. Or how you switch it up with the jean shorts and bubble Air Maxes and hoop earrings that dangle walking down Franklin. See, you may know everyone, but baby, you mean so much more to me. Of this big apple, you're the fruit's great seed, who is beautiful as Eve, and your nectar so sweet. Sweeter than the now-laters and lemon heads we bought from the bodega as kids. Growing up, still in love, breakups we never did. See, I love your Bed-Stuy hustle and stride, your Park Slope class when you pass and give me those lovely Fort Greene vibes and feelings. Girl, you make the phrase, "What up, son?" sound so appealing. You bloom like botanical garden flowers. You're the true queen, crowned at the utmost of heights. And I love everything about you, even the bad like your Brownsville attitude full of malice. See, your mind is the bridge that stays balanced, like at times when you're too sassy but stay Clinton Hills classy. And at those times I say to myself, damn, this girl is bad, and I love you for that, and a whole lot more. The flower pots on your porches are more beautiful than Porsches. Getting feelings of brown sugar by the appearance of brown stone. You know you got it going on. And I love that you're so vibrant and loud, like those nights on Nostrand Street when you drive down, playing those same old radio tunes, but let's have less of that. Lately, baby, you seem to have my mind and heart torn, and you have me wondering where our relationship is going. You see, we're married with no ring because we live in each other. You're my lover, friend, sister, mother, but baby, I worry about you and this change. Didn't see it coming at first, and it has me deranged because it came so sudden. And sometimes I don't know if you're bluffing. Like how now we walk down Murder and you always want Connecticut muffin, and I go, why? What's wrong with Crown Fried? But please excuse my ignorance because I think I understand now. Or at least I'm trying to. We're certainly not perfect, even with your swag at perfection. And to tell you the truth, over the years you've given me some troublesome impressions. Like, remember that day I walked down Gates? Nonchalant to your crafty ways. And you took advantage. Yes, you always did have a knack for taking.
What up? You got in your pocket? Huh? I don't got shit, boy. You got on, boy. I see you in there. I fuck.
But nowadays, it's hard to explain the reasons for some of the things you do. And maybe it's me, but some of these things are becoming far from free. Like, I know you love these new condos, and they're nice, but yikes, babe, for that price? But, you know, there's nothing really wrong with upscale. I'm trying to see more clearly now, because we're so used to taking it, and I feel you want to shift more to making it. And baby, I love you for that, and so much more. Your business savvy's got us opening more stores and us meeting new folks. And that's dope. I guess you're trying to become more well-rounded, right? You saw our people in the plight and you're trying to get us up right, but I asked again for such high price. A lot of new ideas crossing that bridge, and some I dig, but a lot I don't understand. But knowing you, it's always a grand plan. I can understand that. Rediscovering but using vocab like renovate and gentrify, and those words sometimes don't seem right, but in due time we shall see, because at the end of the day, you inspire me to do the right thing, always warming it up, and I love the passion you bring. I'm influenced by your will to not lose, be a legend like the Juice Crew, the best you homebrewed, and I'm next in line. And so with that, the realization is, you're doing this to change some things for the better, without changing face and maintaining beautiful grace, so I'll strive to keep up with your pace. So even though real soon, I'll be away for higher learning, what you've given me is life's exclusive education. Now, although that may be physical separation, I'm carrying your spirit all through it. You know I represent you to the fullest, so I know we'll both be alright. Truly, you are a world of your own, and I love that about you. The good, the bad, and so much more. So please, don't cry for me. You're too cool for that. And I know it's hard to say goodbye, so I'm simply gonna say peace.
In the end, Ishmael couldn't tear himself away from Brooklyn and now attends Pratt Institute. His talent for poetry landed him at the Knicks Poetry Slam competition in New York City. That's it for this week. Join us next time for more unfiltered voices of Brooklyn youth on Real Works.